So chapter 7 here, communication channels. Again, how we get the message out, the effectiveness, because I think sometimes we look at price, and price is obviously not always a determinant for success. So it is going back and looking and seeing these different options that we have and how they work. So, and it's worth noting that you really need to thoroughly examine this and see what you think the best return is going to be, for lack of a better word, on your investment. You look at some of the forms down here in Exhibit 7.1. What is the best way to reach your target market? Yes, sometimes cost is going to be a factor, and sometimes it's just, putting it in a certain location somewhere. I mean, this book isn't that old, and we're still seeing newspapers. As far as I know, 90% of those are digital now, if they're even still around. Doesn't mean people don't read them, but do the right people read them, right? So look at some of these principles, and kind of, even though things change, these are all important. And I would say if you could bold 1,000 times principle number 7, that's what I would do. And you think to yourself, like, could that really be that big of a deal? It's amazing. You've worked on something so long, and you've looked at it, and you almost feel like your eyes are going to fall out of your head. You've been staring at this ad so long. Someone walks up behind you, looks at it for 2 seconds, and goes, "That's desert, not dessert." And you want to scream. But that's why you look at it, and you look, and you look, and you look, and you look. And then you look again, and you look again, and then you say, okay, we're ready to run this particular ad in this particular format, whatever that's going to be. So that stuff becomes important, that it's checked and triple checked and all that good stuff. So if you want to do radio, if you want to do TV, we're talking about costs, right? And you see this example here with Tammy and what she's thinking about doing. So again, it depends. As an advertising person, my job's to come in and tell you, hey, if you do this, you can reach this many people. And if you run this spot at this time on this platform, 5 o'clock drive time, oh my gosh, you're going to be surprised at how many people can see this ad. That's my job, to sell you that. Is it going to be worth it for you to do it? Smell thing makes me think of a case when I was a young person in the business, and I worked for a company that sent out mailers, and we thought that people would gradually come in based on that, and they all decided to come in the first weekend that it was made available, and within a year that company was bankrupt. We did not plan properly on the effect that it would have based on where we thought our market was. We guessed right. What we didn't guess was the response rate, which was staggering. Never seen anything like it. And we ran out of product and had a bunch of really ticked off people, and we never recovered. We couldn't. And it wasn't just our location. It was a bunch of locations. It was poorly executed. Happens. So when you look at the pros and cons here, think about things and how they have changed. When you look at this, in textbooks, you probably already know this, but they're always a little bit behind. And it's, again, I'm not sitting here saying you're a dinosaur. If you have a newspaper, you still read magazines or get direct mail. It's not what I'm saying. But the landscape has changed. Of course, there's still radio stations, but there's also satellite radio, and a lot of us are paying a premium to eliminate ads. And a lot of us on TV have the capability to fast forward through commercials. So it's this, what can you do to reach the audience? Having said that, I believe the last Super Bowl, some of the commercials went for $5 million for a 30-second spot. So there's still some value in that medium to advertise. And of course, very few people can afford that price tag, obviously, but you see the point. Internet-based, we've talked about, we're seeing a lot more internet. When we create email lists, oh, let me see your email list. No. For example, for us, a lot of industry partners that we have that hire a lot of our students or offer internships, things like that, I'm sure that there are people who would love to see the 2,000 names on that list, and we will probably no longer be partners with those folks if we give those lists out. And we don't. But it's a way for us to reach a target market for us, which is our industry partners. So print is one of the oldest mediums. Again, simple, single clear message. And I would tell you that if you're going to use social media and print, you don't have to have it be very long. When I'm making these videos, I understand that these videos cap out at 15 minutes, and I understand that the attention span of most everybody, not just students, is less than 15 minutes. I don't know if at this point in this course, if you're still listening to all these, there's value in them, but I also understand how things work. So, again, it just depends on what is effective. So, again, color is going to be more expensive. How does it work? You go from there, right? Radio spots, we still do them, right? And then how they're set up. Professional television ads, again, creative imagery. So, like in the case of food or cruise ships, oh, they're having fun. Look at how beautiful the ocean looks. Look at this view from our hotel room. Look how gorgeous this steak looks that just came off the grill. All these different things to sell it. And we want that immediacy of return of I want you to see this ad today and be drinking a beer at my bar tonight, or having a steak at my restaurant tonight, or booking a hotel room tomorrow, or going to Disney this weekend. Those kinds of things that happen, right? Traditional mail, you can still get this. Look, you still get junk email, and you still get stuff delivered. And, appearance of handwritten is great. I have a lot of friends that, do handwritten notes. And they send them in the mail still. But I ask you, what would happen if you saw something like that and it wasn't from a relative? So, again, weighing how these things look. We've seen, a lot of major companies send things that look like handwritten notes that want you to buy something the way it's addressed to you in the penmanship. It's not handwritten, but it looks like it's handwritten. Websites, the way that technology works now with websites is you have to have dedicated people who know what they're doing to manage these things, because it's not just, oh, this is cute, we put a picture on the home page that loads when you go there. It's user friendly, accessibility. Can I reserve a table for 2 for dinner on Friday? Can I get a spot outside on the patio overlooking the ocean on Saturday at 2 o'clock without having to call? Can I get a hotel room? And can I see what my hotel room looks like without ever doing that? Or there's a link and we're trying to market this amazing stay, how we tie all these things in together. User friendly. Yeah, we want the basics there, right? Any kind of updates that are happening, who's going in and saying, due to construction we're closed, due to this we're not going to be open tomorrow, whatever the case may be, a full-time person dedicated to just that alone. Very, very important. So, I would hope that you don't use offensive language or images, but it's something to think about is, how we do this stuff. Emails. You filtering out your emails, you giving out someone an email address if you're getting something at a restaurant that you hardly ever check. And then there's that overkill of, oh my God, if I get one more email from this company or this thing, I'm going to scream. So you have to be very, very careful about that and target it. Country clubs and private clubs, they never give out their email addresses because they don't want to bother their members. They pay a lot of money. So those members know when they get an email from the club, it's important. It's not nonsense, as they would say. So again, social networking. And because someone who's talking to you right now is a professor, knows that he's a dinosaur because he has younger kids and doesn't know what the latest thing is going to be, but understanding how those tools work and understanding the immediacy of them. And do you have someone there to reply? If you put this thing out on a post on social media and it gets some legs, if you will, and people start to say, oh, I went there and reply, you have somebody back there to go, oh, we're so glad you did, to track and see how effective that is. So, the bigger you get, the more you need somebody just sitting there viewing comments and seeing posts and saying, I took advantage of this and the steak was terrible, or I went and the poolside bar was great and the hotel rooms were so clean, and et cetera, right? And then everybody seems to have apps now. And that, to me, now is the newest, latest. If you want to have somebody download an app, then what's in it for them? Are they going to keep it on there? What are the benefits of having that app downloaded other than you're tracking me and sending me notifications? If I take the time to download the app for your hotel, what's it going to do for me for a room night? Am I going to get an extra amenity? Am I going to get a $25, complimentary drink ticket or something? What is going to happen if I decide to take the time to download that app? We see it more and more. It's that if you download something, we got you for a while, and we can start to really build a marketing campaign to you specifically. And you buy something, let's face it, we can now say, hey, Tom, how did you like your Vans? Tell us about it. And hey, Tom, we haven't heard from you in a while. Did you know Vans is running a special? Whatever the product is. Tom, we understand that you were at the Ritz-Carlton in October, and, look, it's February and we know it's cold where you live, and we're just telling you we're running a great special right now if you would have come down and see us and kind of catch some rays. So, capitalizing on that medium to have it do what you want it to do, whatever it's going to be, that becomes important. We're talking, and there's in-house stuff as well, but this is just an example of how you can try to go out there and reach those customers. And look, let's face it, we all, if you're still watching this, your phone's probably right beside you and you're probably checking it. So, how do we get you to choose us?